This is the Solid Signal Podcast for the week of May 2nd, 2016, and I am your host as always. And this week's podcast is entitled A New Spin on Antennas, which is a bit of a pun, and I will explain why. If you live between two major cities and you want to get over-the-air antenna reception from both of those cities, conventional wisdom would have you use a rotator, which is a motorized device that actually turns your antenna from point to point. This is great, but it does create a situation where you can only get signals from one of those two locations at any given time. Not so great if you've got more than one TV in the house. With today's idea, the new spin on antennas is that we don't spin them at all. What we do is we put up more than one antenna pointing in two different directions, and we use an amplifier and combiner to give you the ability to watch both sets of channels at the same time. Is it a revolutionary idea? No, honestly, it's been around as long as television's been around, but it hasn't been as popular as using a rotator. Rotators got very popular because at one point they were extremely reliable and extremely expensive, but like many other things in this world, cost kind of took over, and today's rotators, while they're very good, are only going to last you 5 or 6 years out in the real world, where the rotators that maybe your dad or grandfather paid for, they cost about maybe 10 times as much in real world dollars, but on the other hand, they lasted a very long time because they were built up to that high specification. The strategy today is to put up the antennas that you need pointing in every direction that you need, if you cannot use an omnidirectional antenna, and I'll get to that in a minute. You put up two antennas and you use something like our new Televez combiner amplifier, which combines a low noise amplifier and the ability to filter out LTE signals, and also gives you the ability to combine multiple antennas through a single line. It's very simple. Just run equal lengths of cable from both antennas into a Televez mast-mounted amplifier, and you are pretty much in business. Always remember that you would want to use solid copper center conductor cable, because that's the kind of cable that carries power where it needs to. And all of a sudden, you've got the ability to have well over 100 channels from two different cities, all at the same time. Now, I know not everybody wants to have an antenna farm up on the roof, so you can choose smaller antennas. You can choose an omnidirectional antenna, which picks up signals from pretty much every direction, but only does it for a very short range. The point is, by choosing wisely, you do not need to have the top of your house look like an antenna farm in order to get great service, great signals, and free HD TV year-round. This is also a great way to combine two antennas to get absolute maximum reception. Say, for example, you'd put up an inexpensive UHF antenna at one point and you like it, except for you didn't realize that you were missing out on a few channels that are truly VHF channels. There are a few channels, actually it seems like more than half the markets out there have at least one VHF channel. It's just a matter of whether or not you care about it. And so you want to put up a VHF antenna to get those VHF signals, but you're very satisfied with what you're getting from that UHF antenna. Well, don't replace it. Just add a VHF antenna, and again, using this Televez mast-mounted amplifier, which is going to work with any brand of antenna, you're going to find that you're going to get great results. You're going to add VHF capacity, and again, you don't necessarily need to have the top of your house look like an antenna farm. It's a great solution, and as I said, it's kind of a new spin on antennas. That's about all I've got for the Solid Signal podcast this week. If you've got ideas for future podcasts, click that Suggest a Topic button at the upper right-hand corner of blog.solidsignal.com. Read me on the Solid Signal blog, and do me a favor and shop Solid Signal for all of your consumer electronic needs. You know, they pay my salary, and I'm super happy about that, and they keep the lights on over at our blog and podcast headquarters. That's all I've got for this week. It's a little bit shorter one because I have gone long the last couple of weeks. So you all have a great week, and I will talk to you again real soon.